What's poppin', everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Blake's Take with me, Blake Neiman. And this offseason across the sports world has been unreal. From the gridiron to the diamond, we are seeing fan-favorite names land deals in new places that will sure change the landscape of each respective league. We will start in the NFL, where we have seen several moves go down, starting with the long-awaited trade of quarterback Deshaun Watson. After finally overcoming the criminal charges of his 22 allegations of sexual misconduct, Watson, after a long period of frustration from both sides, the Texans have finally traded Watson to the Cleveland Browns in dramatic fashion. Originally, Watson had his sights set on the NFC South, limiting his options down to the Falcons and the Saints. But following Watson waiving his no-trade clause, he requested to be traded to Cleveland, and they were willing to pay a hefty price to acquire him. The Browns gave Watson a new contract which guarantees him every penny of a 5-year, $230 million contract. Along with giving Watson a new deal, Cleveland will ship 5 draft picks to Houston, 3 of which will be first-rounders. It was thought that Watson was going to be locked up in what he viewed as a toxic situation in Houston forever. But over the course of this past season, it appears as though both sides were able to finally mutually agree to part ways. The Texans are in a good spot now with lots of collateral to upgrade their roster in the coming years. The Browns, on the other hand, are taking a big risk in hope of a big reward, with handing out a contract of this magnitude and giving away virtually all of their primetime draft picks over the course of the next several years. But the Browns are showing they are tired of being a losing franchise and want to make a change for the better right now, and I'm all for it. This mentality has not only been made evident by the Browns in this move for Watson, as prior to this, the Browns were able to acquire an elite pass catcher in Amari Cooper, which will be a great complement to Watson in the pass game. Another top-name wideout on the move is Davante Adams, who, after not being able to come to terms with the Packers on a deal worth his while, landed a blockbuster deal with Cooper's former team, the Las Vegas Raiders, although, at the time when Cooper played, they were still in Oakland. After originally being placed under the Packers franchise tag, Adams was able to find a new contract with the Raiders, which will rightfully make him the highest paid receiver in football. Adams only adds to an already overwhelmingly talented AFC West division and will be reunited with his former college quarterback, Derek Carr. Not only that, but the all-pro wideout now joins a receiving core which includes up-and-coming stars such as Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller. The Raiders are going to be a lethal offense on the offensive side of the ball and will surely pose a threat in the AFC West. The Packers, on the other hand, though, are also left well off, as they now have to scramble to find a solid receiving corps of their own to maximize the time they have left with their franchise legend Aaron Rodgers, who they just signed for $200 million over the course of the next 4 years. Before we wrap up this NFL segment and move on to the Major League deals, I want to give a quick shout out to another notable receiver who has put himself onto the scene in recent years in Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju, after expressing much love for the Steelers franchise, decided to move on and join the elite weapons on the Kansas City Chiefs, who, yes, are also a part of the AFC West. Looks like all the talent is wanting to come out west, and that is similar to the case in baseball, as we are seeing once again the Los Angeles Dodgers just keep on getting richer as they acquire yet another big-time star from the team that crushed their championship hopes this last season. Yes, longtime Brave Freddie Freeman, despite winning the World Series last season, decided it would be time to move on and come home to La La Land. Freeman got what he wanted in a 6-year deal which will pay him $162 million. Coming off a season in which he batted 300 and had 31 home runs, Freeman only adds more firepower to baseball's most potent offense, which includes guys like Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, Trey Turner, Justin Turner, Max Muncy, and many others. Another team out west landing a big-time offensive boost is the Colorado Rockies, who locked up Chris Bryant on a 7-year deal worth $182 million. While the Rockies have struggled to compete against their fellow divisional powerhouses in the Dodgers, Padres, and Giants, they continue to strive towards a brighter future, and this is a great step in the right direction, especially after the loss of Trevor Story. This could be the first of many great moves that could come from this franchise, who is still has gone back and forth in recent years of wanting to either be a contender or do a rebuild. So hopefully they finally commit to building a roster in which they can compete in this tough NL West division. But arguably the most anticipated free agent signing of this offseason came when Carlos Correa inked a 3-year, $105.3 million deal with the Minnesota Twins. Correa has shown his consistent explosiveness at the plate and craftiness in the field over the course of his successful career with the Houston Astros, which is why he was an ideal candidate for a big-time deal with that we are seeing some of these other talents land. But with market conditions not permitting, Correa chose to settle for the largest annual salary of any player at $35.1 million. Correa also will have options to opt out of his contract in the first 2 years, which makes the Twins a likely temporary home, so we will see how they take advantage of it. While there are so many other elite players on the move in both the NFL and the MLB, I can only keep up with so much, so I'm going to try and do my best that I can keep you up to date on all that's going down in the MLB as we approach opening day and NFL as we approach training camp. Hope you all enjoyed that. You can catch all of this and more on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and or YouTube. Subscribe and like to stay up to date on all that's going on, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a wonderful day.